Welcome to today's class where we'll be working on the hips and shoulders, bringing some mobility and movement into those areas. And we'll be using 2 blocks as well as some kind of band or strap. So at home you could use any kind of belt, scarf, band, a necktie would work. Even a sweatshirt where you can hold on to the ends of the arms of the sweatshirt. So with that, we're going to start laying down, and you can bring your band or band object with you. You come down to your back. We'll keep the knees bent for today. Taking the feet out toward the sides of the mat. And then we'll bend the elbows out to the side so that we can rest hands on the belly. And arranging your body to be comfortable here. And then letting yourself be still. Maybe the eyes close, and we start to focus in on the breath. Feeling the belly lift and expand with the in-breath. Feeling the belly lightly drop down and in with the out-breath. In yoga, we sometimes use a breath with sound. It's called Ujjayi breath or victorious breath, where we create a little bit of constriction at the back of the throat so that you can hear the whisper sound of the breath moving. If you're familiar with that or like to practice it, you can start using it here. And if it feels difficult, just letting go of that and just following the regular flow, feeling the inhale, feeling the exhale. Taking a few more rounds here, maybe refocusing your mind if some thoughts have started to come in and take your mind away from being here. And then with your next inhale, you can heel toe your feet back in about hip width apart. We're going to take the hands and release them down away from the belly. And then use an in-breath to sweep the arms up toward the ceiling. So arms are vertical. And with these vertical arms, you want to plug the upper arm bones down and into the shoulders. And you'll feel the shoulders pull down against the mat here. With an in-breath, we're going to open just the right arm out to the side. And with the out-breath, right arm lifts. Inhale, left arm opens to the side. And exhale, left arm lifts. As you breathe in, take both arms up and back. And as you exhale, bring the arms forward, pick up the right foot, and hold on to the right leg. And then we'll release the left hand down to the left hip and start to guide the right knee out to the right. We want to avoid rolling all the way over onto the right hip, so we continue to ground down through the left hip, helping the pelvis be balanced. And then with the in-breath, we'll lift the right knee back to center. And exhale, open the right knee out to the side, same motion. Inhale, right knee lifts, and you use some belly strength to help you lift. Exhale, right knee opens. Breathing in, right knee lifts. And this time, send the right foot down to the floor. Inhale, lift two straight arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, left arm opens out to the side. Inhale, left arm, exhale, left arm lifts. Good, and then we open up the right arm. Lifting the right arm back up, and with an inhale, taking both arms overhead, keeping the belly pulling down so there's not a big curve in the lower back here as we reach the arms back. Then pick up the left foot, bring the left leg in, and hold on to the left leg, right around the thigh. We'll release the right hand to the right hip and start to widen the left knee out to the left. Taking a moment here. And then moving with the breath, inhale, left knee lifts. And exhale, left knee widens. Feeling how much you need to engage the right leg as you move the left knee in and out. We'll take our last one here. And then bring the left knee back up and release. Left foot down to the floor. And then we'll grab our strap here and lift the right foot and knee in toward the body. And we're going to loop the strap around the bottom of the right foot, right around the ball of the foot. So trying to hit the strap there and then pressing the foot out and away from the chest. Our goal here is to make the legs straight, and we're not necessarily trying to lift the leg up toward the ceiling here. So your pose might have the heel a little bit closer to the ground, and that's fine. You want to find that place where there is some stretch and sensation in the back of the leg, but it's not overly intense. And then we keep a slight bend in the right knee, just making sure that we're not hardening the back of the knee and stressing the knee joint in any possibly harmful way. And as you extend through the back of the right leg, see if you can spread the toes. making space between the pinky toe and the big toe. And we'll take one more breath here. And then maybe keeping the left foot planted or extending the left leg forward. So with extending that left leg, you might feel how that shifts things a bit, feeling some sensation in the front of the left thigh and hip. And then we'll take both ends of the strap into the left hand and bring the right heel over the left thigh. So it's a slight motion here, maybe taking the right leg at about a 15-degree angle or so. We want to keep the right outer hip grounded, so we're not rolling over, but even the outer edge of that right hip is down on the mat. And then we'll inhale to bring the right foot back up. Exhale to bend the left knee. And then release your strap and keep your right leg long, very slowly lowering the right foot down to the ground. And so as you lower that right foot, you'll use core muscles to help you stay stable through this entire lowering process. And then the right heel lands, and when it does, relax the right leg and drop all of your attention into the right leg. And then we'll bend the right knee, so the right foot comes back to the mat. We'll pick up the left foot and loop the strap around the bottom of the left foot, hitting at the ball of the foot here. And finding that place where your leg can be mostly straight. Again, the heel might be a bit farther away from you and a bit closer to the floor. And then we keep the upper arm bones dropping down toward the floor. So if you find that you're really reaching up here, see if you can let your shoulders soften and relax down a bit into that support of the ground. It's nice to take advantage of the ground underneath us while we have it. And then spreading the toes, feeling that activation, not just in the back of the leg, but also up into the calf and ankle. And then you can stay here or extend long through the right leg. And if the right leg does straighten, we want to keep it engaged here. Feeling some stretch happening in the front of the hip, the space in the right thigh. And then we'll take both ends of the strap into the right hand and start to bring the left heel over the right thigh. So again, this is a small motion, and you feel how small motion really does a lot in the intensity here. For most bodies, the outer hip and outer thigh can really be an area that gets tight and sticky. So we'll take another breath or two here. And start to lift the left heel over the hip. You can hold the strap in each hand again, bending at the right knee, right foot back to the mat, and then releasing the strap and starting to take that real slow lower. It might take you several breaths to bring the left foot all the way down. Keeping stability all along the way. And then the foot touches down and that left leg relaxes. Dropping all of your awareness into the left leg. Feeling that circulation. And then we'll bend the left knee. So now both knees are bent and we'll just roll over to one side. Coming up to sit. You can sit in any comfortable position for you. We will be using the strap again in a moment. But first we're going to do a little bit of work with the head and neck here. So just lowering the right ear down to the right shoulder. And as you do, keep some heaviness in the left shoulder. So we want to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. And sometimes when we lower, we tend to tip as well, but trying to keep the spine long and open. And if you'd like a little bit more here, you could take the left fingertips down outside of your hip. And they might have the hand close to your hip. That's a milder version. Or for a little bit more, you could take the fingertips farther away from your body. Breathing deeply, maybe even using that breath with sound. And then we'll start to bring the left hand back in and rest it on the left leg. And then with an in-breath, lift the right ear, come back to neutral head and neck. And then this time lowering the left ear down to the left shoulder. Again, making sure the shoulders stay even over the hips and both sides of the waist are equally long. So we're not tipping, but again, staying open, especially through the space between the ribs and underarms. There's a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. And you might choose to add on, taking right fingertips down to the floor, maybe reaching them out away from the body. One more complete breath. And then bringing the right hand back in, resting it on the right leg. And using the inhale to lift the left ear. And then we're going to use the strap here again. So you can grab your strap and take it about shoulder width in your grip. So you can stretch your arms out and make sure that both arms are parallel to each other. And then with an in-breath, we're going to lift the strap right over the top of the head. And with the exhale, take the strap forward and down. And as we work with this motion, we want to be able to pull against the sides of the strap. My strap is not very stretchy, but we want to create that action then of pulling as if we're pulling the hands apart, lifting the strap overhead. And exhale, bringing the arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, strap lifts. And exhale, strap lowers. And all along the way, we're keeping some engagement in the belly. So this prevents the back from kind of rounding and curving here. We're going for a straight spine. Staying neutral in the back so that the front ribs are hugging into the body. We'll take our last one. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out, this time lowering the strap all the way down. You can move the strap off to the side and then we'll just take some big shoulder circles. Few forward, a few backward. And then from here, we'll move to tabletop pose, just using that as a transition for child's pose. So hands and knees, and then pressing the hips back and letting the shoulders have that nice stretch after that arm work. You might rock a little bit here, side to side. And then use your next inhale to come forward for cat and cow. Breathing in, letting the belly lower toward the floor. And breathing out, rounding the back. Taking about 3 more rounds here. And we'll come back into neutral. Bring the hands slightly forward past the shoulders. Tuck your toes under and lift the knees and hips, downward facing dog. So we've already gotten into the backs of the legs a little bit, and you might notice a difference in this downward dog compared to some other practices. You might still like to pedal out your feet, bringing some motion into the ankles, the knees, and maybe even swaying the hips a little bit, side to side. And coming back to 2 neutral legs. With the in-breath, bending the knees deeply, keeping the hips high, but gazing forward toward the thumbs. And then with the exhale, slowly walking up to the top of the mat. Giving yourself a moment to get there, and then a moment to come into your forward fold. And keep your knees bent and maybe bend them even more to slowly roll up. Lifting the entire spine, head comes up last. We're going to use our blocks for some lunging poses if blocks are a good option for you. So you could take them outside of your feet. And then come back into your mountain pose. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Then bring your hands to your blocks. Take a big step back with the right foot. And then lower the right knee down. Untuck the right toes here and start to press the top of the right foot down, as well as the entire left foot. Trying to keep the hips square to the front of the mat. We'll breathe in, start to press even more into the feet, lifting up, hands come to the left thigh. Then maybe using the next in-breath to take the arms forward and up. Exhale, both hands lower down. Inhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, back, left foot steps back, finding your lunge here. And with the exhale, left knee bends, top of the left foot comes down to the mat. Taking a moment here, lifting the right low belly away from the right thigh. Chest is lifted away from the thigh as well, so that the spine is open. Collarbones are widening apart. Inhale, pushing into the feet, rising up. And then maybe the next in-breath floats the arms up high. Inhale. And exhale, hands come forward and down. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee. And exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bend the knees and fold in. Big breath in, rising up to stand, arms expand. Exhale, take the hands together and in front of the heart. And then bring your hands to your hips. Take a little bit of bend in your knees. And start to hug the insides of the elbows in toward the spine, near the back of the body. You might choose to stay here, or maybe there's space in the shoulders to interlace the hands. And if you have the interlace, see if you can lift the hands away from the back of the hips without super straightening the elbows. So there's a little bit of a bend there, a little softness in the elbows. Take a full breath in. And with the out breath, release your hands back by your sides, mountain pose. Inhale, big stretch up, arms widen and expand. Exhale, hinge forward and fold forward. Breathing in, stepping back with the right foot. Hands can be on blocks here. And then we're going to spin the right foot down, about in line with the short side of the mat. Arranging the left heel in line with the right inner arch. And then lifting up for warrior two pose. So hips and shoulders are facing the long side of the mat. And then with the next in-breath, we'll expand out through the arms. breathing in, straightening the left leg. And breathing out, taking both hands down to your hips. We're going to press the right hip into the right hand. You'll feel the hips shift. Right hip lifts up, left hip lowers. Keeping that, left arm extends out. And then widening the left side and lowering down, tipping into triangle pose. We want to work on stacking the right shoulder over the left and then pressing down from the right hip and glute into the right heel. Once you have that, you can reach the right arm up. Now we're going to make some big circles with the right arm here. So breathing in, right arm lifts up toward the sky. And breathing out, right hand comes back by the hip and then down toward the floor. Inhale, takes the arm forward and up, chest opens. And exhale, hand drops back and down by the right leg. Inhale. And exhale. This time as we breathe in, we bend the left knee, the right arm pulls the shoulders all the way up. Warrior two. And breathing out, spinning the arms down, lifting the back heel. Lunge pose. Inhaling. And exhaling, taking the right knee down to the floor. Toes untuck. And then we're going to take the left hand and block inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out toward the left side of the mat. And then bring the left toes at a 45-degree angle. So as we turn the left toes out, the left thigh goes with it. Thigh and foot are both in line at the angle. You'll feel just how this is a little bit more intense in the hips, a little bit deeper in the inner thigh and outer hips. You can arrange your blocks so that your hands are under your shoulders. We want to feel that openness and space through the belly and the chest. And then we'll release, walking the left foot back in, left hand and block to the outer left foot. Inhale, right toes tuck under, right knee lifts. And breathing out, step the right foot forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling, folding in. We'll come up to the blocks with a hand, stepping back with the left foot. Lengthening the left leg, and then turning the left foot down to the mat so the outer edge of the foot is grounded. Right heel in line with the left inner arch. And then we lift up. Aligning the shoulders over the hips, so shoulder points and hip points make the four corners of a box, a rectangle. Bending into the right knee. And then breathing in, expanding the arms out to a wide T position. Letting yourself settle here for a moment and feeling the body. Feeling the space that you're taking up here and all of this expansion in the pose. And then breathing in, we straighten the right leg. And breathing out, both hands come down to the hips. We'll press the hips over toward the left. So especially that left hip pushes into the left hand. And we deepen the crease in the right thigh and the right hip. Keeping that, we extend the right arm parallel to the floor and then start to tip. Right side waist stays long, and then we lower the right hand either above or below the knee. The position of the hand on the leg is not important. We want to focus more on the sides of the waist and the opening through the left side of the chest. Then trying to stack the left shoulder on top of the right, we'll reach the left arm up. Breathing in here and breathing out, circling the left hand back by the left leg and then down by the floor. Inhale, left arm goes forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Feeling the steadiness and strength in the legs, so the right sitting bone is hugging in and under the body. Left leg is anchoring you back. Left foot is strongly pressing down. And then this time as we breathe in, we take the left arm forward, bending the right knee. Left arm lifts the shoulders all the way up. Arms expand wide. Full breath in and full breath out as we circle the hands down. Lift the left heel and then lower left knee down to the ground. Toes untuck. We'll take the right hand and block inside the right foot. Walk the right foot out a bit. And then take the right toes out even more. So right thigh, right foot at the same angle. Right heel stays underneath the right knee. And then adjusting the blocks and hands so that the wrists fall underneath the shoulders. Taking another 2 or 3 deep breaths here. And then starting to release by taking the right foot in, right hand and block move to the outer right foot now. And then we'll tuck the left toes under, pick up the left knee, and then step the left foot forward. We'll bring the blocks off to the sides. Bend your knees so you can plant your hands down and step back to downward facing dog. With your in-breath, rock forward to plank. And exhale, lower your knees and press back to child's pose. Letting the head rest down, maybe to the floor, maybe to a block or backs of your hands. And then we'll start to lift the forehead. You can ground your hands and make your way back to tabletop. And then shift your feet around and forward so that you can come down to lay on your back. And as you lay down, bend both knees, expand your arms wide. And then we're going to push into the feet just enough to bring the hips over toward the right. And so the body will be off center, but we'll pick up the knees and feet and let them lower over and down to the left. We want to make sure that this pose feels very comfortable. So if it doesn't, you might choose to use a block between the knees or underneath the left thigh. This is a great pose both for the hips and the shoulders here. We keep the right shoulder grounded. And as we breathe deeply, we can create more space around the right outer hip, even along the right side waist. Giving yourself about 5 more deep breaths. And then we'll bring the knees back up, placing the feet on the mat, and then taking the hips through center over toward the left side of the mat. Picking up the feet and knees and letting them move down to the right. Bring the knees back into center. Placing the feet on the mat and again evening out the hips. This time setting up for full relaxation. Giving yourself some space here so that you can maintain the openness we've created in the hips and the shoulders. Letting the ease of that spaciousness travel down and out through the arms and legs. Allowing yourself to rest here, integrating this practice. Starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. Letting your breaths deepen as you become more wakeful and energized. You might choose to reach up for an overhead stretch. You can bend your knees, taking feet to the mat, knees into the chest. Maybe rocking side to side. And when you're ready, rolling all the way to the side. Pressing up and finding your seat. Sitting tall and noticing any and all differences within you compared to when we began this practice. Letting yourself notice and observe this shift, but also to absorb it, to take it in. Creating an imprint in your mind of what this goodness feels like for you. Breathing in will expand through the arms, reaching up. And breathing out, hands meet and lower to the heart. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.